Tracy says, Tracy McGelfresh here in Dayton, Ohio. Today, as promised, I am going to talk to you about running your own meetup. So, if you don't know me, my name is Tracy McGelfresh. I go by Tracy Sews on Instagram, and I have been making my own clothes for 25 years now. My Puerto Rican grandmother worked in the sweatshops of New York City making clothing, and she taught my mother to sew, and supposedly it goes back 13 generations. I also run a large meetup group called the Dayton Garment Designer Meetup. We do fabric swaps, pattern swaps, sew-ins, fashion related movies, art expeditions, quilt expeditions, all kinds of things like that. And I've been running that group for over a decade. So I have some great tips for you. If you want to find a meetup and find out if there is a meetup in your area, there's a few things you can do. You can search on Instagram under a hashtag and just Dayton Sews and reach out to people and say, does our town have a local sewing group or meetup? If you garment sew, you might want to add those to your tags. You can also call your local library and ask the reference librarian to look up and research and ask if there are any groups. I wanted to start my own group because when I worked at Wright Library, I noticed that there was another meetup group called the Material Girls, and they met up every week and swapped fabric. And I thought that was a wonderful idea. So that's why I started my own meetup group. It has been 10 years and I have learned a lot. So once you find out if your town has a meetup group or not, you can move forward from there. After you find out if your town has a meetup group, if they do, you can attend the meetup group. If you're not sure about rules or how the meetup works, you can always reach out to someone. People that sew are usually really friendly and would love to give you all of the information about the meetup group. So for mine, my meetups are usually about 2 to 2.5 hours. I found a local library that will host us for free on a Friday night, and I just go in and book the meetup room. And then I try to figure out about how many people are going to come. So usually about 30 to 40 people come to my meetup. So that will say what kind of size room we need and how many tables. I don't really have to know. Facebook is kind of an iffy thing if you're running your group on Facebook about how many people are really actually going to show up, because people write interested and people don't always show up. So I'm kind of just usually taking a guess at it. I invite people to come early to help me set up because it's gotten so popular that I can't do it all myself anymore. I also allow people to bring food for the meetup because it is on a Friday night between 5:30 and 8:30. A lot of people will want to eat. I found out as we grew early on, it just wasn't a good idea to have a meetup in a restaurant. We're too loud, we're too messy, and we have way too much stuff with all of our supplies. We have tried. We need an entire huge table for all of our supplies. And it's just rude to be in a restaurant when you've got any more than 10 people. So, no restaurants. We've also had meetups outside, and this is something that you would want to have a rain date for. People can come back if it rains on that day. So I have my studio here at Rosewood Art Center in Kettering, and from time to time they will have quilt shows in the gallery, and we'll have our meetup here. There's picnic tables out back, and we can see the quilt show. We can have snacks and make a big mess outside. Although if it rains, that's a problem. So in my description, if it's outdoors, I always give immediately the rain date. If I'm not sure about the location, I will say, please check back for location. So that's another thing to make sure in case the location changes as well, people need to know. Or if it's wintertime, please check back in case of inclement weather, because we've had all kinds of bad weather on days we were supposed to have meetups, and you don't want anybody to get into an accident or get hurt. So that's something to think about. So, how does a fabric swap work? I'll tell you how mine works. It would be great to have name tags, and I'm going to get on top of that. I remember sometimes and forget others, but that way people can be friendly. I love to go around and introduce people. If somebody's new, I will go right up to them and introduce myself and ask what they do. And when I talk to them for a little while, and when I find out what they do, find somebody else in the group that does that too and go introduce them to that person so they can start making connections. So that's kind of my welcoming people. I've known a lot of the people for a long time, so it's easy for me to remember names, but name tags would really help. The food, I ask people to bring their own drinks, and then everybody brings a dish if they would like to. It's not recommended. Everybody brings their supplies, but here's the one thing, the supplies to give away. My very first year in 2012, I realized early on that people will leave the polyester double knit and take the good fabric. So you want a very important rule in place that says if nobody takes your stuff, you have to take it back. Or I wind up lugging all of their stuff to one of those drop boxes, and then I feel guilty if it is polyester. So you may want to have a table in the middle that you can see from all angles and watch and see who drops off. And if somebody's new, just remind them that, like, hey, I can't carry your stuff out. I handle cleanup and organizing this event. Taking your stuff out, I just can't do it. If you could remember to take your things at the end of the night. So usually just about always people will do it. Some people may complain, like, do I really have to? Do I really have to take my stuff? And I'm like, look, it's me. I have to carry my own stuff and the food I brought. We also do it as a sew in. So people can bring machines or whatever, even crafts if they want to. A lot of times people want to bring crochet or knitting because they don't want to lug their machine and all their stuff out. So that makes it fun too. So people will bring their different crafts, and you can walk around the room and learn different things about what people are making. And it's just a lot more fun than looking at somebody's phone and their project. You can actually see their project in person. We also used to do show and tell, which is really awesome for a small group. We tried it with a group of 25 and it did not work out. It drug on too long. Some people didn't get to talk at all. So, like, the quieter people didn't get a chance to talk. And then some people just went on and on. So, not always does show and tell work. It worked when there was 5 to 10 of us. It was great. We all brought something, and I asked to bring either something educational to share, like a tool, a pattern, or a project, and tell us what you learned from it. So we try to keep it educational. Um, in the past, we have gone on fabric hops. You may consider, if you're going to go on a fabric hop and it's more than one place, if people are riding with you, some kind of disclosure, that if something happens, that they're not going to sue you. I have heard all kinds of things about people having people in their car and them going on fabric hops and being distracted and talking and getting into accidents. So that might be something. Anytime I go on a cycling group ride, I have to sign a paper that says I'm not going to sue them if I get hurt. So that's something to consider. Um, every once in a while, I like to throw in a Saturday morning or a business meetup. So if someone has a sewing business, we can meet somewhere that is in public that can house 20 people, like Panera, and people can come and go as they please. And we can talk about the art of having a sewing business. And it's really, the Dayton Garment Designer Group is anybody that aspires to sew, and I make sure that it's sewing doesn't discriminate, that everyone is welcome to come. And I just try to keep that really nice. And you'll find that people are really nice because it's a local group. And so you don't have some of that nastiness you see in the bigger groups where people are criticizing other people's makes. Most people are really, really nice. Um, because it's a local group and we all know each other and we all want to support each other. So sewing people are usually in general pretty nice. So that's it. If I left out anything, please let me know down in the comments. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I hope that you find me on Instagram. I'm Tracy Sews, GRACYSEWS. Have a great day and thank you for watching. Bye.